Benue State is amongst those listed for possible flooding during the rains in 2023 by the National Emergency Management Agency. The federal government, through the Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, says it has completed the 1.2-kilometer long Ida Basin Canal to move excess water into the River Benue Channel and save communities from impending flood disaster. Now, the Managing Director, Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, Mr. Abubakar Yawa, joins us from Minna, the Niger State capital. It's good to have you with us on the program today.
Good afternoon.
Yes, we know that Mother Nature, when she decides to be on the wrong side of man, can be very devastating. And the ominous predictions from NEMA for this year seems to tell that story. Can you tell us now some of the projects that were initiated last year and have been completed as relating to flood control in the areas you operate?
Yes, our first intervention in the flood control activities of the Commission is the EDA drainage scheme in Benue State. Is a very prominent location where communities lost life and properties whenever flooding comes. And when we visited the government of Benue State in April, May 2021, when the commission came into effect, the government complained to the commission that was one of their major challenges in Makurdi town. And HYPADEC Commission decided to take up the challenge, and we thank God we were able to complete that project successfully. And throughout last year, there was any history of any flooding in that community as a result of our intervention. So we were in Benue last week, and the other members of the adjoining community before the River Benue complained that they want us to help them open up part of the part of the drainage that is stopping in their community, which is about 400 to 500 meters. The governing council has also approved that. We are hoping that once the area is desilted, there will not be any history of flooding in that community. The second area we have gone into is Kwara State, where a whole general hospital, a secondary school, and a cemetery is being threatened as a result of erosion, very, very deep gully erosion. And that is about 400 meters. And we were able to handle that too. We asked the state government their position on it. They cooperated with us in designing the drain, and we were able to complete that too. And we are now working on Kotonkarfi. You can remember last year, there was serious disruption of movement of vehicles along Lokoja-Kotonkarfi Road. And that in our findings, the community told us that one of the major areas responsible for the flooding was an area that was on the entrance of Kotonkarfi from the main road. Because the drain has been blocked by debris, people have taken or blocked the normal drainage by constructing houses or by constructing shops along the way. And even an existing petrol station has blocked the main passage of the waterway in that community. So we decided to have a meeting with the State Ministry of Environment and the State Ministry of Works. And the state government gave us the go-ahead to intervene. Presently, the contract for desilting the area and constructing a drain has been awarded, and we are hoping in 8 weeks' time, the contractor will complete his job. This is also the case of Yauri in Yabokala in Kebbi State, where a lot of houses are almost lost every year as a result of the activities of overbank flooding by tributaries to the river Niger. We have also intervened on that, and we are hoping, no matter the level of rain this year, there will not be any cause to have any worry, God willing. Of course, in addition to what we are doing, we have gone around all the states now, having stakeholder meeting with the relevant stakeholders, the intervention agencies, the weather climate related issues agencies, the traditional institutions, the local government, and the state ministry of environment. We were able to interact and agree that it is high time we talk to the communities to please take some measures stopping the appearance of flooding in their areas. It is something that is a natural phenomenon, of course. But if the normal drains that are blocked are opened up or desilted, it is very, very likely that there will not be loss to our major infrastructure, or even some roads. So, and we are happy. Last year's rainfall was heavy, of course, and there was flooding, but there was little loss of lives as compared to previous years. And
okay,
that
Mr.
was
Yawa,
simply because the commission took its time.
Let me come in here, Mr. Yawa.
Yes.
I see your point, and it's very commendable, the progress made so far. It's heartbreaking to see the damage done by flooding, not to talk of the displacement of the people, and in some case, even human casualties. You've mentioned Benue State just now. You mentioned Kwara. There's also Niger, Plateau, Kogi, and you've also mentioned Kebbi that experienced flooding last year. Seems to me you need a lot of money to get these projects completed. In the area of funding, do you have any challenges? And does the winding down of the Buhari administration affect your targets in any way?
Not at all, because our funding has 3 facets. There is the funding from the state government's ecological fund that has not been affected by any activity of the transition. And we have also the national budget contribution. We are, of course, to access the national budget contribution to our annual budget. And the contributions from the GENCOS has had issue with the act, and the issue is being rectified by the National Assembly. So we are hoping that if that is, because the main objective of the amendment of the Commissions Act in 2018 by the present administration was to provide an avenue where resources can be accessed by the Commission through the operations of power generating companies, who are expected to contribute 10% of revenues they generate every year. But unfortunately, when the amendment was being made, there was a kind of mistake in leveling of the act, not in the principal content of the act. And as a result, the power gencos used that as an opportunity to refuse to oblige the expectation of the act. And therefore, we are now working on 10% of commissions, or 10% of concessioning fee paid by the generating companies to the federal government, instead of 10% of revenue generated by the generating companies. And this part of the act is not only common to Nigeria. This is what is acceptable worldwide, where generating companies or companies benefiting from a community are expected to contribute certain percentage of revenue they generate for the development of those communities. These communities have been suffering for the past 50, 60 years, and they suffer every day. Their farms are lost, their houses are lost, their schools are destroyed every day. Their children don't have access to work environment. It's so sad that if you visit the communities,
I totally understand.
Shed tears for them.
Unfortunately, we have to let you go now because we're pressed for time, but we hope that gets cleared up and that aspect is adequately taken care of and that funding can come in. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you very much for the opportunity you gave me. I'm sure the 1,508 communities within the commission are happy about your interest in the commission. Thank you very much.
Much obliged. Managing Director, Hydroelectric Power Producing Areas Development Commission, Mr. Abubakar Yewa.